So, Pat Robertson, he is no longer with us. He is. It's not for me to say whether he's up above or down below. It's not for me to decide. He's somewhere though, somewhere, but no longer with us. And Twitter has a good idea where he is. Twitter is how I found out of Pat Robertson's passing. I'm looking at it here, and so I found out that he passed away. And then I scrolled down, and here's what Twitter says: Pat Robertson, televangelist who blamed gay people for 9/11 and hurricanes, dies. Here's another tweet of Pat Robertson in hell, with the devil laughing at him. Here's a tweet here. Pat Robertson, the right-wing televangelist and former Republican presidential candidate who espoused racism, sexism, misogynist, homophobic, AIDS-phobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic bigotry on air for decades, has died. There's that. There's another one with him in hell. There's another one with him in hell. There's another one with him in hell. So Twitter has an idea of where Pat Robertson might be. I don't know, people. His whole thing, what was it called? The 700 Club? Is that what, that whole thing was before my time. When I was introduced, when I became a Christian, this was so long ago. But even then, it was just, I looked at the 700 Club as, it was a show about old white people talking smack. That's really what they would talk smack about people and then thank God and pray. Was how I viewed the 700 Club back then. I do remember him talking some crazy stuff every now and then. Like I remember when there was the horrible hurricane. I think I just read the tweet, and then he blamed the hurricane on gay people. And I was like, did he just blame all this destruction on gay people? And like, is he crazy? And then, but I actually had some people in my church back then who were like, no, he's not crazy. He's on it. He's got that link, that strong link with God. And weird people. And I'm not gonna bash the man. I'm not gonna bash him. I'm gonna say he deserves everything that Twitter and others are bringing to him. Probably deserves it. It's not my style to bash somebody when they pass, I'll bash them when they're alive. Yes, I will. But once they pass, now, because I think about his family, his friends, mourning over the guy. And then they go to social media and they see racist, xenophobic, see Pat Robertson burning in hell, like half of these tweets. Lord knows what's going on TikTok. So look, that's just not my style. But, and then there's people who will say, well, he spoke the truth and he suffered for Christ. And that's why people don't like him, because he spoke the truth. That's all that is. Speaking the truth, suffering for Christ. And that is someone using Jesus' name to hide their bigotry. Which a lot of people do today. Talked about that before. So the problem really is that Pat Robertson was a POS. And I think that's the message here. The sermon, I would say, that the revelation, the enlightenment that should be gained from all this is don't be a POS. We're in this lifetime, on that suffering for Christ point. Suffering for Christ is when you are doing and saying the same things that Jesus did. And, there's suffering as a result, legit suffering. Like the disciples / apostles, they went to prison and were tortured, killed just for preaching the gospel. That was it. That's all they did. You have people who have given up money, given up homes, given up time with their family, all to do what God's put in their hearts to do. That's some suffering for Christ. You have people who are helping out the less fortunate and are sacrificing like their quality of life to do so. And you have people who are actually like the disciples, who are in other countries, are preaching and serving in the name of Christ, and being put in prison, being beat up, some being killed as a result. That is suffering for Christ. When you're doing it for someone else, Jesus did what he did for the Father, right? Pat Robertson, he did things for the show, right? He did things for, his followers, for his ego, to hide. He said things in the name of God to hide his own bigotry, fear, hatred, so different things. So again, the message here, don't be a POS in your lifetime. And perhaps people probably won't post memes of you being in hell after you pass on. Amen.